given f of x, and they give you the following function f of x. Notice that they don't give you an equation, they just basically just give you a what we call a several components of a graph. It's a function, it's continuous up to here, and they want you to graph f of x minus 2. So you need to think, okay, they give the function and you're going to be subtracting 2. So what happens when you have a minus 2 at the very end? What happens to the graph? We know because of minus 2 and it's not multiplying, it's basically subtracting. It's going to be a translation, so there will be some movement in the graph. It will be shifting up, down, left, or right. Because there's outside, it's going to be shifting each of the points down 2. So shift down 2. And we are shifting the following. Ideally, we should be able to shift the whole thing at once, but because we're not able to do so, I'm not going to shift each of the points. We have negative 6. It used to be 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going to shift it 2 more, 1, 2. At negative 4, so I'm just going to do the main points, or you can do each of the points if you want. At negative 4, it will be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're shifting it down to 1, 2. And that'll be a line. Next will be, let's go and work on this point. At negative 2, it will be 1, 2. At negative 2 is 1, 2. Remember, we're going to shift it down 2. So 1, 2. So that'll be my new point. At negative 2, so let's go and work on this point. At negative 2 is, or at 0, it will be 1, 2. And then we shift it in 1, 2. And that'll be my curve. At 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 1, 2, and then I shift it down to 1, 2. So that's this line right here. And at 6 is 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to bring it down. So we basically just shifted the entire graph down 2. Now let's work on the next one. On the next one, it's asking you to do f of 2x. In this case, that 2 is inside the parentheses, it's multiplying, so we know it's going to be a transformation. Now remember, if it's inside the parentheses, it's going to be a horizontal transformation. So basically, I'm going to shrink it or stretch it. In this case, it's going to be a horizontal transformation because it's inside the parentheses. Now remember that whenever it's inside the parentheses, it's basically the opposite. Even though it's 2, we're going to divide everything by 2, all the x values. So it's going to be, we're going to shrink it, horizontal shrink. That one, whenever I say horizontal shrink, it's a little more challenging for you guys. But basically, the height, we're not doing anything with the height. So whenever you finish, the height should be exactly the same because we're not doing anything to the vertical aspect of it. We're only doing it to the horizontal. So if I use this negative 6, the negative 6 I'm going to divide by 2 will give me a negative 3. And that point is down 2, so 1, 2. It's basically what's happening is that if you plug in a negative 3, that gives you a negative 6. You go back to the function, negative 6 is down 2, and then you just place it in there. So basically I'm just grabbing that point and bringing it over here. Or you can just think about dividing the x values. So you're shrinking the horizontal aspect of it. The next point is right here. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And it's down 2, so it's down 2. So this whole segment got shrunk into this segment. The next one is this point, which is negative 2. We're going to divide by 2, so it'll be negative 1. And how high is it? 1, 2, 1, 2. The next one is 0 0, we're going to divide by 2, which is 0, and it's 1 down 2, 1, 2. So that's this curve right here got shrunk as well. The next one is 4. 4, we're going to divide by 2, so that will give us 2, and it's 2 up, so 1, 2. And we connect it, and that'll be this segment right here. And at 6, we're going to divide by 2, which will be 3, and it's 1, 2, and that'll be this segment right here. So notice that the height stayed the same throughout. We just shrunk it horizontally.